Hello, welcome to a video. So, I am using my stream setup just to make this easier on myself, but the Game Awards is coming up, and heads up, I will be streaming the Game Awards on December 7th instead of the retrospective, because who's going to care about me playing Majora's Mask when there's, or whatever, if I beat Majora's Mask before then, whatever game. Who's going to give a shit about that when Game Awards are on its way and people are watching that instead of me? So instead, I'm going to be actually streaming the Game Awards themselves with a couple friends, possibly, and we're just going to talk about it, watch. We don't really give a shit about the awards themselves, but there are game trailers, so we're going to watch them. But talking about not giving a shit about the awards, I'm going to do some voting. So, I do want to say this. I put it on my TikTok, but I want to say here that no matter what happens at the Game Awards, I know people are going to use the Game Awards to weaponize their opinions on saying, like, as long as their game wins, they're going to use that to be like, this game I like is better than the game you like. And I just want to remind everybody that award shows in general, no matter what show it is, what topic it is, are usually bullshit, and only is really just a popularity contest, and it doesn't invalidate the mass opinions of whatever art that is being awarded, because everybody's individuals, even if some individuals are fucking stupid. And there are plenty of games that were probably not nominated that are still fantastic, and you are more than okay to like the games that are not the highest of the highest AAA games. But here we are. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna vote because I still want to talk about my opinions about the games, and it's still a fun thing to do. Even if I don't put too much purchase into award shows, it's still a fun thing to do, so we're going to do it. Start voting. Alright, so they're going to just start off strong with just Game of the Year. That is the first category, Game of the Year, that I would think they would keep it for last. Anyway, Alan Wake 2, not even on my radar, don't care. And same thing with Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4 is a fantastic game, but I do not think remakes should be nominated for Game of the Years because they are not made in that year originally. They're just they've just been remade that year from a game that came out a while ago. Resident Evil 4 remake is a fantastic remake. It really is. But it's still a remake. Now, so contenders being Super Mario Brothers, Legend of Zelda, Baldur's Gate, and Marvel Spider-Man 2. So Mario Wonder is probably going to be last when it comes to those games. While it is definitely a refresh on the Mario formula, and it's a fantastic game. It is just a fantastic game. It's just absolutely amazing. It's still more Mario. Which is not a bad thing, but I feel like the other games have pushed their series a little bit more. I mean, it deserves to be nominated. I will say it does deserve to be nominated, but I think other games did more. Baldur's Gate 3, it is a fantastic game. I just made a TikTok about this too, about it being overhyped, though. It is a fantastic game. It has a lot. Like, especially when it comes to story, it has so much going for it. But there also is so much jank in the game because of the style of the game. It's almost like walking around as action, and then the fighting's turn-based, which is fine. Like, it's D&D combat. It's D&D if it was in a video game. Like, it's pretty one-to-one. Like, if you're running a D&D module. Definitely, obviously not homebrew. But with that being said, there's still a lot of jank that comes with stuff like that, with a lot of the point and click stuff, and AI is not working, and just how combat works in general. Again, it works fantastic. It is a fantastic game, but people are saying that like it pushed the boundaries of gaming, and it's like the second coming of Christ. People haven't actually said that, but people are acting like it is. And I'm not saying it's not a fantastic game, because it is, but it has its flaws, and I think that most major first party games that come out in a generation push what gaming can be. Baldur's Gate 3 is not a game. It's not the only game that has tried pushing what gaming can be. Like Marvel Spider-Man 2, an amazing, very solid, polished first party game. With a very strong story. I don't care if completing it is only 30 hours. It's a very tight 30 hours. I'd rather have 30 hours of solid gameplay than 100 hours of bloated, redundant gameplay. Time doesn't equal quality. So, I'm just putting it out there. Time does not equal quality. So, just forget that. But, it's still a very solid game. Very solid story. And then Tears of the Kingdom. That is going to be my vote, because it took 2017's Game of the Year and made it even better. It is such a good game. It is definitely a very true sequel. It is a sequel to Breath of the Wild. People confuse sequels with DLC all the time. I don't know how they keep doing that. People are fucking stupid. But it is definitely a sequel. It is a separate story. It has the same formula as Breath of the Wild, which was kind of disappointing. I wish the story was told better. I wish they kept the open air, but with a linear story that was a lot more strong. But this story was still better than Breath of the Wild's story. We're still stepping in the correct direction. And with the mechanics, with it breathing fresh life into Zelda again, I'm gonna choose Tears of the Kingdom for my vote. Again, very very strong. Like at least most of the list was very strong contenders. Very strong. Best game direction. Okay, so while I think Tears of the Kingdom is a very good game, I think oh, this is hard. Award for outstanding creative vision and innovation. I'm gonna give Marvel Spider-Man 2 that. It's between Baldur's Gate and Spider-Man. I'm gonna say Spider-Man, because I just feel like it's a little bit more fleshed out when it comes to the vision. Baldur's Gate 3, again, is a massive game, and it is very fleshed out. But I just like the ideas and the storytelling of Marvel Spider-Man 2 a bit better. We're loading. Best narrative. Okay, we got Final Fantasy 16 thrown in the mix, and Cyberpunk. Not Cyberpunk. Phantom Liberty isn't a fucking game, it's a DLC, isn't it? I don't know. I didn't care for Cyberpunk, because I did play the trial for it. I played quite a few hours of it. I didn't keep me hooked. Now... okay, so Baldur's Gate 3, again, fantastic story. But it's not that strong of a story, I don't think, altogether. Probably because they had to keep it... It is a strong story, but they had to... The fact that it wasn't linear, like, the fact that there was so much jumping around, and there's a lot of story threads to go on, and whatever. As replayability, it's very strong. It makes your choices matter, and that's very good. But... I didn't feel as connected as I did with Marvel Spider-Man and Final Fantasy 16. And I think I'm gonna go with Final Fantasy 16 on this one, even though I love Spider-Man's story, I think I might have been a little more attached to Final Fantasy 16 story, even if I wasn't as keen on the ending as I was on Marvel Spider-Man 2. I think I was more drawn to it. Best art direction. It has to be Hi-Fi Rush, right? Like Hi-Fi Rush is such a talk about pushing boundaries. Nope, like Hi-Fi Rush is slept on, like for real. Like it, gameplay wise, it's innovative, and then art style is really works with the gameplay. Liza P is just Dark Souls. Like, it's not even original. Like, I don't even think that should have been nominated, honestly, because it is Liza P is more of a Dark Souls mod than it is original game. Like, it's lacks originality. Again, Alan Wake is not on my radar, so I apologize for those fans of the Allens, but it's not on my radar, so I apologize. And Mario and Zelda have really strong art direction, and it's built on, the art direction of previous games and the evolving of their art directions, and they're fantastic. I had to give the Hi-Fi Rush. Best score and music. Okay, this is hard because genres are different, right? Baldur's Gate 3 has a couple good pieces, especially like the main theme is great, but otherwise it's not varied, and either it's mostly just like atmosphere music more than actual music. Tears of the Kingdom did better in the music department than Breath of the Wild did. I love Zelda music. I have ocarinas and I play Zelda music on said ocarinas. But it still has the same type of feeling most of the time, like it did Breath of the Wild with the slow stuff. So, but the thing is, between Hi-Fi Rush and Final Fantasy 16, when it comes to music, they're two completely different styles. Like, Hi-Fi Rush, it has a very either synth or rock like style, and the game is built around the music, where Final Fantasy 16, like the orchestra is so fucking powerful and is so good with the battle music, and they even bring back motifs from older Final Fantasy games, especially like the main theme, and it makes you feel so much. But Hi-Fi Rush was a game that was built around music. I'm trying to think what would have taken more effort to do within the games, Like, as far as, like, a couple of composers, like obviously, like, as far as a couple of composers, like, making music, Hi-Fi Rush definitely is the winner. But when you're talking about scale and epicness, Final Fantasy 16 wins. I'm gonna give it to 16 purely because of the grand scale of it, but also the fact that it's all original, and Hi-Fi Rush and the boss battles did have to but they use licensed music, and I will take a completely original score over stuff that is reused. Hard choice, but I have to go with Final Fantasy with that one. Best audio design. Hi-Fi Rush. Hi-Fi Rush. Marvel Spider-Man 2 is second place. But audio design is perfect with Hi-Fi Rush because the audio is intertwined with the gameplay. Dead Space has really good audio design. It's really good for horror. I'm not gonna say that it doesn't have great audio design. It actually works well with the theming, but I think the fact that the audio design is intertwined with the gameplay, I have to give to Hi-Fi Rush. We're loading. Best performance. We got Ben Starr, Final Fantasy 16. We got Cameron. Okay, so we got Last Jedi. We have Idris Elba is hard to top in general. Melanie, Alan Wake, Baldur's Gate, Neil, or Yuri. I'm gonna give. So Cameron does a fantastic job. He really is. He is Cal. He just 100% is Cal. That's just what he is. But and Idris is just Idris. Like like he's just a fantastic actor in every way, shape, or form. Even though he's connected to a game that I don't like. I have to give to Yuri. Mainly, like, Yuri has put so much emotion into his part as Spider-Man. And, I mean, I'm a little biased because I like Naruto and stuff. But even taking out bias, spoiler, the scene that is, like, between him and MJ when MJ is a symbiote, and like she is like, you know, the symbiote taking out the most negative parts, and then they are having this like deep conversation, and then when he does the same thing with Harry, like there is so much. It's Yuri is Spider-Man in those scenarios. It's not like he got into the studio and it's not like I'm not voice acting. I'm literally in the situation. This is where I'm at right now. Even more so, like, again, Cameron did the same thing, even with mocap. Like, he literally was doing it. But I think Yuri just poured his soul into it. So, yeah, it's Yuri. Innovation in accessibility. Okay, so accessibility is not a thing that I really look at because I don't need accessibility, so I don't pay attention to it. So this is definitely a category for those who need accessibility options. I don't think fighting games are good with accessibility because it's either you're good or you're not. Sometimes they will add buttons to make so you don't have to do like crazy combos. You can just press a button and use a super move or some shit. But that's as far as fighting games go. So I don't think Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter really gets it. I honestly I don't look at accessibility options, and that's not because I'm an asshole. That's just because I don't need them, so I don't use them. This is definitely for a category that actually needs and uses accessibility options. I'm someone who is fortunate enough not to need it. Bleh, fuck me. Just because racing games would probably be the easiest to get accessibility in, I'm gonna choose a Forza. Also, I'm never choosing Diablo unless if it was like biggest squandering of a game of the year. I'd choose Diablo. Otherwise, Diablo ain't getting shit for me. Games for impact. For a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning. I just care about a good story. I don't care about what message you're trying to push. And I haven't played any of these games. Because when the game is being pretentious, I don't usually look at it. So because I don't know, I'm gonna vote for the art style I like the most out of all of these, and it's gonna be this one because it's anime. Best ongoing. Award for ongoing development. 14, Apex, Genshin. I am never giving Genshin anything. Same with Apex. Don't care about Cyberpunk. I'm gonna go with Final Fantasy just because I like Final Fantasy. I don't really like anything else that was on that list. Okay, hi, Cat. Best community support. See, so because I don't actually play Final Fantasy 14 because it's broken for me, and I bought it, and then they locked my account because it won't have me connected to the account because I used the trial, and then it won't untrial the game, my account, so I'm stuck. So I'm gonna go with Baldur's Gate because Final Fantasy 14 fucking sucks when it comes to actual community support because their system is archaic. I don't like No Man's Sky. I hate Destiny. I don't like Cyberpunk, so we're going Baldur's Gate. Best indie game. I'm gonna go with the only one I've played. Sea of Stars. Next. Best debut indie game. Okay, I haven't played any of these. But I can't skip rewards. So I'm gonna go with one that looks cool. Sorry. Best mobile game? I don't play mobile games. Yes, Hello Kitty Island Adventure. That's the best one ever. Knowing how certain companies function, I'm gonna go with Monster Hunter. I love Square, but their mobile practices haven't been the best, and that's the only other game I'm in. Best VR AR. The only two games I would think would even be decent with the VR. Okay, I haven't played Synapsis. I don't Call of the Mountain. I think that's a climbing game. I'm gonna say it's either Gran Turismo or Resident Evil, but for two completely different reasons. Resident Evil definitely is like when you're playing horror and you're really locked into it, it really makes you even more scared. But being a racer is pretty cool, so I'm just gonna do that. Gran Turismo. Best action game. You have Armored Core, you have Dead Island, you have Ghost Run, you have Hi-Fi Rush, you have Remnant. Again, I'm gonna say it's Hi-Fi Rush because of it just being a rhythm action game and having a cool story, and Peppermint is Bay. I'm going with that one. Best action adventure. For the best action adventure combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving. When you're talking about as a whole, I have to say Tears of the Kingdom. With a tie in second place for Marvel, Spider-Man, and Jedi Survivor. They definitely are the same level to me as like in quality. I think maybe Marvel's more because traversal is better in Spider-Man than it is in Star Wars. But Zelda is the most well-rounded when it comes to every aspect of an action-adventure game. Best RPG. I'm going to say Baldur's Gate for best RPG, specifically because while Final Fantasy 16 is an RPG, it is a lot lighter of an RPG than Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate gives you a lot more RPG options. Sea of Stars is a fantastic RPG. Starfield blows every chunk ever, but I just don't like Bethesda. And Lies of P is unoriginal. So, Baldur's Gate. Best fighting. Why is Nickelodeon... First of all, they made a second All-Stars Brawl. Second of all, it still probably sucks. I don't know what Pocket Bravery is. Never heard of God of Rock, but that kind of sounds cool. I might actually look that up later. But I haven't played it, so I can't vote for it. I play Mortal Kombat 1 at the arcade because they did make an arcade, or somebody made an arcade cabinet. I don't know if it's official, but I played it. Or Street Fighter 6. I'm going to say, in general, I think Mortal Kombat 1 systems are more complex, which I guess makes it a higher base for like entry, but gives you a higher ceiling. So I'm gonna say Mortal Kombat. Best family game. Mario Wonder is probably more polished than Superstars. Pikmin 4, I wouldn't consider a family game. Yes, it's rated E, but see, the best family in this, they never do it right, because when I think family games, I think games that you can play multiplayer, games you can play together as a family, not a game that is family friendly, a game that you can play with the family. So like Pikmin 4, I wouldn't say it would be the best family game because it's a single player game. Like Party Animals is just like a fun, dumb game. I hate the art style of Disney Illusion. It's disgusting and it sucks. I don't even know why they thought that art style ever looked good. I'm going to go with Mario Wonder, though. Because it's multiplayer, it's fun, it's good. Sim strategy game. We got Fire Emblem, Pikmin, Company Heroes, City Skylines 2. Not City Skylines. I liked the first one enough, but the second one, buggy as shit. Advance Wars, that's pretty good. I'm gonna go with Pikmin 4 because that's the most fleshed out outside of Fire Emblem, but I'm not a huge Fire Emblem person. Sports / racing. I'm gonna screw these. Whatever. I haven't played this. I think it just came out. Like I don't even have an opinion on that. So the one I've actually played out of these is Crew Motorfest, and it has a lot of content. Best multiplayer. So here's the thing. It's between Mario and Baldur's Gate. And I'm going to choose Baldur's Gate. Here's the reason why. Because I actually, granted, the people I play with know more about Baldur's Gate than I do, which are people I play D&D with. But they've played Baldur's Gate a lot more than I have. And playing with friends with Baldur's Gate is some of the most fun I have had with gaming. While Mario Brothers, yes, is a fun multiplayer game, I mostly play single player with Mario, and I have more fun doing that because at least in Mario, like, skill gaps are a lot larger, so somebody could be really good at platformer and have to slow down for somebody else, more so than in Baldur's Gate everybody is more so even, mostly because it's a tactical RPG. It is a turn-based RPG, and you get rewarded for working together more in Baldur's Gate than you do any of these others. Diablo was more so you have a friend who is way more powerful than you, and you cheese everything. Party Animal seems probably like a fun time, and Street Fighter 6 is only a 2-player game. So Baldur's Gate. Best adaptation. Recognize the outstanding creative work for faithfully on okay, we're going. Okay. I didn't even know Castlevania Nocturne existed. I am mad at how they made the Super Mario movie to be corporate. Twisted Metal seems like it would have been a good time. I never saw it. Gran Turismo is just another racing movie, which is fine. But I think The Last of Us show is the most one-to-one to a game or one-to-one show that is closest to a game I have seen. Now, I do have my issues with it, mainly because not a lot of stuff is really dealt with the actual infected, which is kind of the whole fucking reason the story exists in the first place. But it's still very faithful, and I'm going to choose Last of Us. Even though I really want Naughty Dog to move away from Last of Us and make something new or work on Jacket 4. Alright, most anticipated game. We got Final Fantasy, we got Hades, we got Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, whatever. Star Wars Outlaws or Tekken 8, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Like, it's a sequel that is bigger than the original. Bigger than the first third of the remake. This is the second third, because we're assuming it's going to be 3 games. This is the second part of the remake of all of Final Fantasy. I am skeptical on it changing the timeline so much that Zack isn't dead, because that kind of ruins the whole fucking everything that with Cloud. it kind of actually ruins that. So I hope that isn't like that's not what we think it is. Yeah. So, but it looks like it's going to be even bigger than Final Fantasy VII Remake was, and it's expanding more Final Fantasy story. And yeah, that's what I'm going with. Content Creator of the Year. I don't know fucking any of these people. I don't care about any of these people. They always do Content Creator of the Year, and I never know any of them. I never give a shit about any of them. This one's cute. How about that? Best esports game. Every year they choose literal shit. How is PUBG even in the talks? Put Fortnite there instead, if anything. Who still plays PUBG? What the fuck? I don't like any of these games though. I really don't. Fuck. God damn. I'm gonna go with the well, Riot also makes Valorant, so all three of these are then now out. So it's either Valve or fucking Riot, and Riot sucks. So it's Dota or Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike 2 didn't have a smooth launch, and I don't know anything about Dota, so I'm gonna go with Dota. Best esports athlete. Oh yeah, they should put Rocket League on the esports last time, and they didn't. Don't care. I don't care about any of these games. I don't care about any of these people. Like I literally could not care less about any of these people. Valorant or Apex player. There you go. Sure, why not? Best esports team. Again, still couldn't care less. Sure, whatever. These are dumb categories. These are so dumb. Who cares about whatever? Him. I don't care. Evo is obviously the biggest one, so whatever. Was that it? Oh, they ended off with esports. That's how we're ending off our voting. Okay, so outside of that sad ending, okay, so I have my own issues with how they do certain things with all of this, but it's fine. It's whatever. But yeah, there's my opinions on the Game Awards. I hope Zelda wins because I just do. I have my opinions on Baldur's Gate, and even though I think it's a fantastic game and it's super super fun, I think it is still overhyped. And yes, even if you think a game is 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10, that game could still be overhyped. I haven't really been able to feel that until this year. Now I'm like definitely cemented on that. Yeah. So if you like this episode, give a thumbs up. If you want to see more from me, subscribe and go follow my Twitch and all that. And until next time. Bye.